Falcon Blues TV is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Protect your devices for as little as £2 a month. Click on the link in the description to get up to 80% off your yearly subscription.
Then.
Yeah, I can hear you, Sam. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Hello, welcome back to Falcon Blues TV, you filthy animals. Now, before we start, you can see in the banner below, myself and Hollywood Cleaner did the sleep out at Goodison on Friday night. It was freezing, it was very cold, it was hard. We've raised a bit of money, but you can still donate in the link below. My heart goes out to anyone who has to do that night after night, and don't forget, we were in a safe environment. So fair play to everyone in the community. Also, this Wednesday in the Falcon on Bewley Drive at 8 PM, we've got a Merseyside derby quiz, free to play, £40 bar tab to the winners. I will also be doing a similar quiz in the Excelsior on Thursday, the 19th of October. That's at 7 PM. Anyway, that's enough of my spiel. So today, obviously, the Merseyside derby is coming up. Long-time viewers might recognise this fella. This is my eldest brother, John. John, thanks for coming on, mate.
It's all right, mate. And notice I didn't put a Liverpool shirt on because I'm being respectful, obviously, to the Blues. But I have one.
Get that off. Get that off.
So just so you don't shout at me. But anyway, go on.
John,
and I didn't shave as well. I didn't shave because I wanted to look as handsome as you. Obviously, I can't. But you know, I try.
Yeah, 6 big the beard, John. John, first question.
Go ahead.
Why didn't Chris Miller get you the job?
Do you know what? I hope he will be listening at some point. And if he does, I saw him in Vegas, obviously, a few months ago. And if he is listening, sorry for being rude to anyone in a certain manner, but right, Chris, no bad. I don't know why he didn't get me a job. But anyway, well, yeah, that's a good one.
There's quite a few celebrities who've been asked. I think including Stone Cold Sean Dyche was one of them, wasn't he?
Do you know what? I tried before to go on the balcony with my iPad because I wanted to put on the phone because, Sean Dyche did do a video and he asked him why no job for JC. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know. But anyway,
so don't tell the viewers where you are in the world today.
Well, I'm in the Philippines or I'm in Manila. And it's, for the people who, it's 3:45. And, I've had a few drinks. But I have to go to this thing. And when someone's leaving, they call it Despacito. Or it's Desperate something. It's like that song. I don't know what I don't know what it is. But to go out on a Monday night and have a drink, it's great.
Mad Mondays, eh? Now, John, you are going to have to explain to the viewers, because many people ask me this. They always go, why is your John a red?
Because I've got the brains of the family. Or I was told that I fell down the stairs or that sort of stuff. But the real story is, one of our aunties, I'm the eldest, so she had to look after me as a kid, and she'd make me say Liverpool to wind my dad up, and then it just stuck. I have to thank her a lot because I get to go around the world and stuff like that, and I'm not taking the piss. But anyway, it's because of that really, and. Then my dad paid more attention with you and Mark, obviously. But yeah, that's why.
Yeah, that's a true story. But to be fair, right, many years ago, one of our sons, I was encouraging to be an Evertonian, and our mother said, "Don't do that. That's not right." Stan, our father's reaction was, "No, she took one of mine. I'm going to take one of hers," and I like that mentality.
So fair enough. Listen, I'm not lucky enough to be a parent, but. If I had a little one, if my little one ended up a blue, I wouldn't be that gutted. I'd probably disown him, but I wouldn't be that gutted. I didn't.
Yeah, but it's got the match with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
So obviously we're here to talk about the Merseyside derby, which was on Saturday. Look, I hate derbies. You know this. I've never liked them. Never enjoyed them. I just have to tolerate them sometimes. But I think you'd mentioned on a text to me. You think that this international break's come at a bad time for Everton?
For you, it really has, because, let's be honest. Listen, I'm on a blue channel. You boys, you got beat by Wolves and Luton at home, and you can say you've played better, but you still lost. No one remember that. But when you played Bournemouth, you played them off the park, and you listen, I watched that in Michigan. I'd been away in America, and he's played well. And we drew 2-2 against Brighton, which is not, before the game, you take that, especially at their ends, because there are no mugs. But Everton played well. And I think, for once, you played well and actually converted chances. Like when you boys play well, like Calvert-Lewin plays, you're a better team. And I think just everything just sort of clicked. So I think the international break did you at the wrong time. That's just me being obviously the red side of it.
I can agree with that. Yeah, you want to go into your next game the next week. No one likes the international footy either, really. But yeah, you're right. They did play all right against Wolves and Luton. They created a lot of chances, but they didn't put it in the back of the net. Now, the only criticism that I don't like is that when people are saying, people seem to put Sean Dyche under the Sam Allardyce bracket to say he plays negative football. We recorded 9 shots on target at home against Wolves. We're creating chances, which is a lot more I can say from last season. So I can take a lot of positives from this season. I know it might not show that much on the points on the board yet, but at least they're creating chances, you know what I mean? I'd be more worried if Everton wasn't creating chances like, let's say, under last season, under Frank Lampard.
The thing with you boys, and it's the same as United, sorry for swearing, by the way, that everyone's always going to blame the managers. And it's not about the managers, it's about the owners, sack the ball, blah, blah, whatever else. The problem with Everton, and dare I say the other lot, and I don't want to say the bad words again, it's at the highest level. You know it, that's why I tell get rid of the board, blah, blah, blah. And you can't keep blaming the manager. Well, if you want to get rid of Dyche, who's coming in next? The manager is not the problem. The problem is at the highest level. Come on. Any blue on here will say the same thing. Anyway, it's not about the managers, and anyone who says it's the manager's fault, listen, I know a lot of blues, and a lot of blues will say Dyche isn't the right manager, but to me, do you know what? You can't polish a turd, sorry for saying that, but he'll get the best out of what he's got. And he'll get the teams playing. He'll put a bit of identity into the squad, which for Everton, for a long time, didn't have. The last time I was on here, second time, by the way, you agree? That Everton years ago didn't have an identity. I always remember Everton when he did. Whether you like him or not, he'll get the team playing well. He didn't rush Calvert-Lewin back.
He was the first one not to do that, by the way, and fair play to him for that.
Well, listen, come on, you'll know your team better than me. I'm outside looking in. If the people who say, Dyche isn't the answer, he might not be, but if you don't have him, who's next? Because right now, it's a bit of a poison chalice because of the ownership. That's the way I see it, anyway.
No, I completely agree. Like you're saying, chop and change the managers doesn't help. Every time there's a new manager, it's day one again. And Sean Dyche will stabilise the club. He's proved that Burnley, he's done a good job on the very little money coming in. I think credit should go to him and Tellwell this summer for getting players in with no money up front. The only money Everton spent this summer is the loan fee for Jack Harrison, who looks like an half-decent player as well. I think there's a lot of goals in that team. I've seen him creating a lot of chances. And I'm not big on this XG stat, but Everton are only second to City on created chances this season. So they must be doing something right. Now, the problem with Everton sometimes, especially at home, if they miss a couple of chances early doors and then they go a goal down, their heads drop. They are weak mentally. But I've seen a lot of stuff this season that, like I keep saying this, we're not going to pull up trees, we're not going to move mountains, but I think we'll be all right. You know what I mean? We'll get to the dizzy heights of 15th maybe. But, yeah, look, they've surprised me. Sometimes look at the Brighton result last season, even the Brentford one this season, Villa away, I went to that one. No one expected us to get results. People are writing us off, and I'm happy to be the underdog like that. It's the only thing that concerns me is that I would have liked another centre-half. Now, don't get me wrong, Branthwaite cemented himself into this team, and I'm glad he signed a new contract. But I do fear, I don't fear it, but I think he will go to a top club in the end. That's fair enough. You know what I mean? We'll make a profit on him, but it is what it is, I suppose, isn't it? But I think there's a lot of positives to take from this season. I'm always a half-glass full person. I've seen a lot worse Everton team from this. And I'm talking about the playing style. I'm glad
you mentioned Harrison, because I think he's a really good player. A lot of people thought he was going to be out till Christmas.
Yeah, that was nonsense.
That goal he scored, you know, let's be fair. Only a handful of players can do that sort of stuff. And he's blown chunks at the end. He's had to go off. But he can create, he can score. So he'll be a bit of a danger. So I'm fingers crossed he stays safe or stays healthy. That's a good shout to Harrison Braithwaite. I couldn't believe for a long time he wasn't getting a game. He wasn't getting a game behind other people. I'm watching thinking, hang on, really? Listen, it's your team. There's some players, I think, like, I was surprised he's let Conor Coady go, personally, because I thought, well, he's the best player, it doesn't matter, but he leads the line, he shouts the line, you go to match, you'll hear him, like Carragher, you hear him, you know, he'll speak, he'll do something. I was surprised to let him go, but I don't know.
I like Conor Coady, but from what I'm led to believe, that it was the upfront fee that Everton didn't want to pay. It was $7 million for of someone who's 31 and his wage demand. So, and also you look at it, why was Leicester the only other club that went in for him? That makes me think.
Do you know, my end, there's a guy here, actually Dave will probably listen, Wolves, I call it like loads of different names, Wolves Dave, he's the only one who actually gives me a game on fancy football, and he said Conor Coady can't play in a flat back four. He needs to be.
Yeah, I've heard this one as well.
Too. Now, I don't know whether it's right or not. All I know is, for what Everton have got and what they've not got, I mean, financially wise, you know, I don't want to go into financial fair play because it's all bullshit. But and anything I say, I kind of trouble for work. But
yeah, allegedly.
Yeah.
Your own opinion, it's not affiliated with anyone else. Yes. We know the scorers.
But I thought he's the captain, but now if it is because it would have cost X amount of money, well then what's going to happen with Dele Alli?
Well, apparently they're trying to negotiate with Spurs to just let him play because for the sake of it, because it'll be good for his mental health as well. And apparently they're trying to renegotiate. That's what I'm led to believe, but it could all be hearsay. I'd like to see Dele play. I think the story that he's went through, and you know, it's terrible, but I would love to see him score at Goodison. I would. And like the worst thing is he's a good player. He still is a good player. He's only 27.
Fantastic footballer. Years ago, when he first got in, like I've just been in America, and a couple of lads got it. Yeah, like, you know, come on, respect. I was there. Obviously, I was in Vegas when obviously Liverpool played Spurs and the VAR. Right, whatever happens in the derby, I don't care who wins or loses, as long as it's a good game. As long as none of us get cheated on a stupid VAR. Oh, that was my battery time. Hang on. And as long as there's no stupid decisions, which that was.
It was a stupid decision. However, I'm going to volley back here because this is something that our fella said, Stan. When Klopp said about replaying the game, Stan made a very good point. He said, okay, let's replay the 77 semi-final. Let's replay the final when Alan Antonin balled it. Let's replay the Don Hutchison game, you know, when it hit the back of his head. We all have bad decisions.
But it was taken out of context. Because he said, in the real world, it should be replayed, but it'll never happen. But no, like, everyone, or the media, these southern-based media gobshites, they forget about that. They just see the one title. So I flew back from America and I watched that Beckham thing on Netflix.
I've not watched it yet, but I believe it's good.
And it was really good. I hate saying it, but it was really good. And
he didn't have to take some step after that World Cup.
You just see how bad the media are. The media just
vultures.
Anyway, but like, yes, Klopp said what he said. Fine, great. But it was in some regard taken out of context. If anyone ever believes you can replay a game, football will be finished. We know that. But the problem, and at the time, I'll be very honest, I'd been out all night, as in Friday into Saturday morning. I didn't really get upset because I was bladdered. But even, no, this is true. I was that bladdered enough to say,
that's my brother.
Yes. It's true. They're not showing no lines. So I thought, somebody was saying, oh, it's America, blah, blah, it's different coverage. Now, let's bear in mind, afterwards, in the aftermath, they've said in the air, oh, there's a mistake. Now, I found out afterwards, in the UK, they weren't showing the lines. So they realised it's been a fuck-up. Now, Paul Mason had an argument with Mike Dean, I believe. He says, why did you not stop the game after kick-off? He says, you can't stop the game after kick-off. Do you know, all this controversial bull, whatever, if they just said, do you know what, we fucked up, stop the game at the restart, no one has talked about it. Simple. But no, you can't do that because they're the rules. Like, you can't change a yellow card and blah. At some point, rules have got to change, or you've got to get some sort of level of consistency. I always say handballs. One game it's given, one game it's not. Offside, one given, but it's not. At some point, things do have to change. Now, Klopp might have said, yeah, you need to replay it. But he said it'll never happen. But then, you know, people forget that. But at some point, like, imagine, all right, first game, this VAR was meant to help. All it's doing now people, you have to wait to see whether it's a goal or blah, blah.
First game
of the season, Wolves, Man U.
Should have been a pen.
He doesn't just clatter one, he clatters two. And then they get an apology. Well, what if Wolves go down by a point?
We got an apology last season. Thank you very much.
I don't know who that is, but thank you, whoever it is.
I'm getting reloaded. Thanks, Katie. Thanks very much. What service you get up the phone? Mate, look at that, eh? Look at this perfect Guinness here. That's how Bewley drives. Sorry, John. Thanks, Katie. Well done. Sorry, John.
I want to find, no, fair enough. But no, like all this, like, blah, blah, all this, you know, it's just, at some point, something has to give. Like, I always say, I was obviously in America, and I was saying, handball, just give them all. Wherever your hand is, blah, blah. But then, Ronnie says to me, but then it'll be dangerous because people will be trying to hide their hands. And then you can't do jump up redder. But you see one scenario, let's go back a couple of seasons. You boys, you don't get a penalty against City.
Yeah. That was the big one, that, for me. You know, that was blatantly a penalty.
It could have sent news down. It could have won us the league. It didn't. Well, it cost us the league. It didn't send news down. But it'll get at some point. Yeah, but at some point, people are going to turn around and say, this is bullshit. What's the point in an apology afterwards? Oh, and stand these officials down. I think, like, at some point, maybe, you know, ex-pros need to go in the room.
That's been discussed, hasn't it?
Or Ange Postecoglou, obviously.
Big Ange.
And he turned around and went, you know what? Give goal line and the rest of it. We're not rugby. Sod her off. Because right now, it's more of a hindrance. And I can't believe we're talking about VAR and all this bullshit. Remember to talk about the derby. Anyway, kick on.
Right, so we are speaking about that, but it is a big topic, VAR. I think they should just bail it, in my opinion. I will say this. Mike Dean got sacked, right? Do you know why he got sacked? Because he spoke up and said, look, I seen a decision and I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't lay into me, mate. Now, I appreciate his honesty, but I also thought, well, hang on, why can't you just say, hey, mate, you might be wrong, have another look at that. But that opened up, to me, a can of worms of the conversations that's happening. Because let's be honest, when that penalty that should have been given at Old Trafford on that goalkeeper, they've looked at that and thought, oh, it's Old Trafford, it's last minute. And it's the exact same thing that what happened at Goodison with that handball with City. They went, oh, the title race at City, we can't give that. It must be happening, because if you're a referee, you know the rules, you're not stupid. Well, I call them all sorts, but you must look at that and go, that's a penalty. Because if that's the other way around, if that was Man United claiming for the penalty, it's given. If that was Man City saying, let's say, don't know, Conor Coady's handball there, it's a penalty, it's given, there's no argument. So why can't they open up like the rugby? Because they will realise that these conversations are happening. The referees are all shit. The other day on Sky Sports News, they were saying, we're worried about losing the top rest for the South League. Fuck them. Let them go. They're all shite, all of them. Not one of them I can say, well, it's always good. No, he's not.
Particular goal, obviously against us, I couldn't believe straight away the linesman's put his hand up. You never see his lineman put a flag up straight away. So that was one. I was like, really? And then, blah, 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 and in the air. So now what's going to happen? People just take the time going back to the centre circle. Oh, let them go and have a look, blah, blah. Because apparently they knew it was a mistake, but the game is kicked off. So we can't bring it back. Sorry, if it's that blatantly obvious, bring it back. And it was that blatantly obvious. That's why they didn't put lines on the park.
If I remember right, the referee swore and they going, "Oh fuck, the game started."
No, that was the VAR boy. It was the VAR.
Yeah.
It was the whoever. But apparently one of them wasn't in the room, or the main one wasn't in the room at the time. A toilet break or something. I'm thinking, hang on, a referee can't go for the shite. So if you're in the room, this, I don't know, 100 miles away, why can you be out of the room? Or what's the point you being there?
Surely they can hold the piss for 45 minutes, can't they?
Well,
do you know what I mean? They're not children.
But if you do, hang on, no one will know that you're doing anything. And you'd have a piss in a fucking bottle, I don't know. You don't leave the room. Not when you're talking about millions. Anyway, here's what it is.
Right, so we will. I could talk about VAR all day. I want to throw it in the bin. But that being said, sorry. Obviously, it's the derby coming up on Saturday. I think you remember my first record, don't you, when I was going to derby, when I got my season tickets? I think we lost. Everton lost 3 in a row at home. And you thought I was a good luck charm?
Yeah,
you remember that?
I remember, and I say this in a nice way. Oh, by the way, whoever's listening or whatever it is, and think I'm red shite, yeah, fine. This is not even set up. Like I get a message from Paul now and again. I tried to get him on the balcony, but it didn't work. And he's shouting at me, "I've got work in the morning." I'm like, "Hang on, it's 4 o'clock my end." But I remember, he's had to suffer going derby, especially at Anfield. Never see celebrate a draw. I remember one time celebrating a 0-0. No, it's true.
Hey, Jurgen Klopp, one of his first games, you celebrated the 2-2 against West Brom. How about that? Remember that?
Do you know what?
I hate when people say, "Oh, you celebrate this and that."
Sam Allardyce wound me up one time and I said, and he says, like, "Oh, well, I'll tell you," like that. I said, "Man, you've just been doing like Hulk Hogan." He went, "Oh, well, that's me staying up. You celebrating the 2-2 draw." But no, seriously, we're going back to like derbies, blah, blah, and you had to suffer year and year after year. And then when you did win one, I was the first person to say, "Well done, enjoy it." And
we Carsley derby, yeah?
Oh, no, well, I didn't. I forgot you're that old. No, I mean, like, so many years you had to wait, and you win one, and fair play, enjoy it. And
yeah, that's it. I mean, to be fair, me and John, we don't give stick no more, because I got stick off you when obviously losing those derbies. But I did send you one text that day when you said fair play. I replied and said, "Carlsberg don't do Merseyside derbies, but if they did, they'd be the best in the world." Now, that's not bad from a 14-year-old Paul Crew, is it, eh?
It is, yeah. Do you know what? When you say about Carlsberg, blah, blah, so this is funny. You don't even know this, but I say anyway, so, the other week, blah, 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 I'm in Vegas. So the early games, so Liverpool, Man U, Liverpool, Tottenham was the late game. So early on in the day, City have lost. United have lost, Everton have lost. I'm like, "Carlsberg don't do Saturdays, blah, blah, blah." And now Ronnie goes, "Shh, shh, shh." And then VAR happens. I'm like, bollocks. It bit me in the arse. So I was like, I've been out all night.
Yeah, that's karma.
It is karma. And well, that just made me laugh. But like, no, I go back. I remember like, obviously, you go to the game, and the amount of times you've had to lose, you put it that way. And then when you did get one, I thought, fucking hell, fair play, because I know what it's like to win a game. And more importantly, you enjoy it more when you know what it's like to lose a game. So,
yeah. I think because it happens more often for Liverpool, I think a lot of Evertonians like myself appreciate the derby win because they're so few and far between. Like, I can remember them all. The Lee Carsley one. I remember the Dan Gosling one. I remember the 3-0 one with Andy Johnson. The 2-0 one where under Roy Hodgson, which was, by the way, that Roy Hodgson one when we won 2-0, Everton could have won by about 5. That was the worst time. That was the worst Liverpool performance I'd ever seen at Goodison, because you normally put up a good fight. And that's the one thing I'll say about Jamie Carragher, because even when I was growing up in the 90s, Everton weren't the best then, but they always had a good go in the derby, and they didn't really lose that many. Roy Evans had a terrible record. When Carragher came in that team, he changed that. Like, he really did. Like, they started winning a lot more derbies, and I remember all the painful ones.
More derby wins. I'm like, really win that many? Because I forgot. But there's one I remember, and you might remember, but you will now remind us. Now you like the wrestling. There was one, and Carragher's, I don't know, he lifts up and he piles right. I don't know. He didn't get away with not giving a penalty. He literally lifted someone.
Mark Clattenburg won on Lescott. He put him in a sleeper hold.
He lifted him, piled right. How we got away with it, I don't know. Their
kite fucking did a drop kick on Phil Neville, never got sent off. But that was Mark Clattenburg's derby.
Phil Neville, come on. Anyone should kick Neville's and get away with it.
Hey, John, you're going to make me do it now. Don't slag off Phil Neville. Hey, Phil Neville, superstar. He's got more medals than Steve Gerrard. Fact, by the way. Fact. Sorry. I'm not lying, though. I'm not lying. But, I'm not comparing the players, by the way. Hey, Phil Neville was a good player for Everton, by the way.
Phil Neville, actually, no, to be fair, I actually like listening to Gary Neville, and even that Beckham thing, he speaks well. But Phil Neville says one of the funniest things I've ever heard. He's taking the throw in the Anfield. There's a fella with his kid behind him. Fuck off, you knobhead. You're not even as good as your Gary. And he laughed. He did. He said, I can't even respond to that. And like that sort of thing, you've got to laugh at. No.
I've got a boss little story about Phil Neville. Yeah, we met Leon Osman a few years ago. It was before we did the podcast, but he actually did his first ever sort of after dinner speaking thing at the Falcon. And he told a good story about Phil Neville. It's like, when the players get the merchandise that they've got to advertise, like the jumpers. He said Phil Neville's like the only player who would come in the next day wearing that clobber going, in this clobber. And he's like, he's on so many £1,000, but he still loves his free clobber. Now, John, we are coming up to the half-hour mark here, and I've really enjoyed this. So I think what we should do next week, after the game, let's say next Monday.
You should predict the score,
Well, that's you beat me to the punch there. Great man, think alike, bro. But I think on next Monday, we should, come back again and talk about the game.
And after, yeah, fine. Listen, I'll always happily like to say hello, because it's the only time you actually say hello to me if you want me on television, because I'm, like, handsome. Yeah,
it's okay. Yeah. So, what's your predictions then for the score? What's your score prediction?
Me, listen, I'll be honest. I'm red. I think listen, Derby, fun, all that bullshit. Yeah, great. But we're the better team. But this season, we keep going to goal down before we get out of bed. Now you can get away with it to a certain extent, but at some point, and Dice is quite smart. If Everton go 1-0 up and start put up, I know, dare I say, 2 banks of 4 and shut up shop, we'll be in trouble because we might break down. I think Liverpool are going to win 3-1, but in my head, Everton will score first and then Liverpool will kick on. That's my view.
Well, to be honest, like I've watched quite a lot of Liverpool games this season, and I thought like the Newcastle game in particular, I thought Newcastle really could have wrapped that game up with Harvey Barnes, and then obviously Núñez just come on and really saved Liverpool that game, I thought. But I think there's definitely like they've got a lot of match winners. Liverpool, they have Salah, Gakpo. I think they're very quick on the break as well, but I do think you can get at them. I don't think Van Dijk's the player he used to be. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is great going forward, but he's very, very defensively unwise. I think even Andy Robertson this season that looked great.
Robertson's on his shoulder and what he displayed. I don't know whether he'll be in or not. For some reason, I don't know why, this season so far, we've been very weak at set pieces. And Dice is actually quite good at that sort of stuff. So you have to be careful of that. You mentioned Núñez. To me, he's a bit of an enigma. Like the game against Newcastle I mentioned, he hits the hardest shots, scores, and then misses a sitter. I think Liverpool, me personally, Liverpool's best, I can't say his surname, but number 8, Dominic Slovic, or whatever you call him. But he looks...
I can't pronounce his name either, but he's a good player. He's a very good player. I can have him on Footy Manager.
I was home, I went to 2 of the games, and not just what he does on the ball, what he does off the ball. He looks a very good... Well, I've just put him in fancy football for next week. And Salah's my captain as well, so I don't know, we'll see.
Gotta have Alan's your captain, Oof, you're missing a trick there, bro. So listen, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna sit on the fence. I'm gonna go for 1-1. I would take that now, because going to Anfield, it's a very hard place to go. If you can get points from there, great. But when it's a derby as well,
are you going?
I'm not. I'm actually going to. I'm actually going to Mick Bennett's 50th in the evening, so I can't go out too early. Well, look, if Everton, let's say, if touch wood, if the miracle happened and Everton won, then the fucking bat signal's coming out, and then I'm out all day. But
the weird thing is, our end, because it's early kick-off, it's early our end, and like
so what time's that your end?
Well, it's 7 hours in this time, 8 hours early, and I hate the early kick-offs, because what it does, and listen, both Reds and Blue, it brings out all the knobheads who don't know nothing about football.
I know.
The late games is great, but the early games, I'm like, and you'll have, I don't want to say fair weather fans, I don't want to say that because I live halfway around the world, but I still have the season to get. But you see the people and they just give you, and like, I wouldn't mind, but half of these wouldn't know football hit them in the bollocks. And I hate the early kickoffs. I'll still go out. I'll sit in the corner, and if we win, I'll be happy. Actually, I tend to stay quiet because, especially the early kickoffs.
Bollocks. Look, me and you are not quiet people, John. We are talkers.
No, I do. I sit quiet. I've got to live over it. I've got to live over everything. I'm not getting myself into trouble for some no-mark.
Yeah, I get that.
But, like, the early kickoffs, I hate the early kickoffs. I prefer the late ones. And the worst thing is, I've just read recently, Liverpool meant to play City at 5:30, and they're putting it back early because there might be trouble at City. Hang on, City. Key to the silence at times, but it's empty. Oh no, really? I think now, like, television's got too much to say about everything, and
I agree.
And sadly, people, it's the worst for the fans. Listen, you go away, you go to some, like, you go to the away games, like, and we're not being back home in recent, like, months, whatever else, and all the trains are off, and I understand why.
Yeah,
but it's not now. Cup semi-finals.
Yeah,
Wembley, and there's no trains.
And also, 40,000 tickets are going to corporate sponsors and stuff like that. And you see it on the television. After them at the second half, they're not coming out to watch the game. They're getting the free sandwiches and stuff like that. I'll be honest with you, mentioned it before. We say this all the time. Football is finished, by the way. Like, they're trying to price the working class fan out of going to the match. And I think it's wrong. Like, I'll be honest, I went to watch Prescott Cables the other week and it was boss. It was great. Like, it was proper football, and just like, yeah, we're too Americanized now. We're thinking, look, 777 are going to do it with us. Listen, when we go to that ground, yeah, it's just, I think we're lucky that we got to see sort of the 90s football where it was still a bit of a mix. And look,
I saw the 80s football, by the way. A little bit older, But no,
I know
right.
that. You got to see the heyday, really, where, look, I would love, if I was Marty McFly, I would go back to 85, 87, all of it. But, like, my half fella still calls me the Jinx because I was born in 88 and we were last won the league in 87. Now, I was too young to appreciate the FA Cup win. I watched that with Monica and my ma. Like, they were too young to take me. I watched that old and a lucky penny. But I still remember it. But I was too young to really appreciate it because, the closest I got was the FA Cup final when we lost to Chelsea. And I remember you had the dream saying that Everton were going to win 2-0. And then when we scored after like 20 seconds, I thought, that's happening. But, and fair play for coming on, John. You are a good red. You're not bitter. I'm not bitter. I remember you saying you want Everton to win because, your mates and me to help us have a good day. So fair play, John.
Too many friends and family. And there'll be a couple of people now who'll probably message when they go live afterwards and go, well, all right, red shite. You talk a little bit of sense, great. But, like, it's like at the start of the season, I really feed for Everton. I thought there's no goals, something's not right. And it is at the highest level. It's still, sorry, you got to get rid of Billy bullshit. He turns around, he had the audacity to say, the best run football club. Really?
Yeah.
With underneath financial fair play trouble. All right, City, Chelsea, yeah. It's all bullshit financial fair play, but at least they won something. What did Everton win? Nothing. But by the way, Bill, he turns around, we're the best run football club. How? Really?
Yeah. Well, look,
that's insulting people who I know, friends and family. And he needs to get, he missed semi-finals.
I'm not his biggest fan, But I will say, you know, he's been undergoing cancer treatment, so I wish him well on that. You know,
oh no,
listen,
health-wise, I wish him well. I'd like to say, I felt sorry for Graham Sharp. You'd cut him and he'd bleed blue. You know, I know Sharpie, a really good blue.
I agree with that, and I say this a lot. Graham Sharp is an Everton legend, and he deserves a lot more respect. He had no say in what was going on. You know, he was like a, you know, sacrificial lamb to say, by the way, just to end things, can I ask you a question that Graham Sharp told me to ask it ages ago? Does his volley Anfield still give you nightmares?
I still have nightmares. And he, look, right now, Goldie, if he watches this, he'll laugh his head. Well, Sharpie's own fault taking the job. But
what a guy Goldie is, by the way. I've not seen him for a long time, so fair play, Goldie. What a guy.
But I was there, and I had to go, and I won the raffle. Blah, blah, blah. I said, so I goes up, he goes, oh, red shirt. I'm like, oh, bollocks. And I gave the prize. I said, hang on, me put these out there. Oh, red shirt. And he said, he literally shamed me in that 1878 lounge, whatever it is. Red shirt, oh, bollocks. And then, but as I'm walking, he goes, you still have nightmares over that volley, don't you? I went, I do, yeah. And
fucking love it.
I tell you what, Sharpie, if you are watching this, you'll laugh and you'll remember JC from Bethred and all them days ago. And yeah, I still do have nightmares. I think it was a fluke though. I think he came off his shin.
Oh, fuck off! No way, the fluke at all. I
gotta laugh though, haven't I? What do you want me to say? I still have nightmares. Actually, it's 4:20 my end, and I'll probably have another nightmare over it.
Well, you're going for 3-1. I'm going for 1-0. John, thanks for coming on, mate. We'll see you on Monday. We'll talk about the game, regardless of the results.
No, yeah, and regardless of like the game, well, just you know what? As long as afterwards there hasn't been like a bullshit, stupid decision or fucking shitty red card or whatever it may be. I always say win or lose, it's a game of football, and afterwards, listen, I'd love to give people stick for them 90 minutes, but afterwards, it's a game of football, and there's more important things in life.
No, there is. At the end of the day, it's a bunch of millionaires kicking the ball around. Don't be getting into fights. Don't be getting into arguments. That's what I don't like to see. I think lately some of that's come back, and I don't understand why. I think it's social media, but at the end of the day, it's a bunch of millionaires kicking the ball around. Don't be scrapping. Don't be throwing bricks or anything like that. You know, and this is going to both sets of fans here. You know, because look, every fan base has got my bed, but
both ends. There are bad from both sides.
But it is, at the end of the day, it's a bunch of millionaires kicking the ball around. Just enjoy it. Look, if you lose, it is what it is. But don't be starting scraps, lads, for fuck's sake. We're not Millwall. We're not knobheads. You know what I mean?
You've just basically nails on the head. Yeah. You still will be 3-1 now. Come on, the Reds.
Yeah. Also, as well, by the way, John, just before I forgot, before we end things here, originally it was 6 o'clock you were going to do, then it was 7, then it was 7:30, then it was 8:30, then you had the longest piss in the world. So, John, congratulations, mate. You just made the list.
Oh, if I'm on
158.
The list, I'd be happy to be on the list, and I'd say, up the fucking top, he's Colin Chong.
Hey! There you go. That's the best way to end it. Up the fucking top, he's Colin Chong.
Listen, I look forward to speaking on Monday. Well, if you will have the nerve to speak to me, you're going to be so upset. Actually, this could bite me in the arse. The last time I done that was Talksport. I had to go on the next day. Yeah, we're going to beat them. And they played it back to me. Oh, yeah. Anyway, we'll see.
Well, look, if Everton gets battered 7-0, I'll still come on and speak to you. So, you know, I'll see you on Monday, John, and I'm sure I'll speak to you in between then. But until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you do want to donate, please click that link below.
Subscribe. I don't know where it is. It's down there somewhere.
Nice one, brother. Nice one, bro. So, as always, up the fucking toppies, eh?
Colin Chong.
There we go. That was all right, wasn't it, John? Right, John? Right, do us a favour. We'll do go like this so we can get a screenshot for the video.
For who?
Yeah, big smile.
Hang on.